Hey everyone, it's Rostic here, and I haven't done a video in pretty much the whole month of July. I know it's been crazy this summer with seeing people and work and all the other stuff, so busy summer, but nevertheless I'm here to do a couple things. One, I want to do a recap of pretty much of the month of July in terms of temperatures and precipitation, and then I'm also going to give you the August outlook for our country. So very quickly, pretty much the month of July has been kind of a little bit extreme on both ends. We've had certainly the heat in the desert southwest with temperatures in the 110, 120 degree plus readings in Phoenix, Las Vegas. Death Valley got close to 130 degrees earlier this month. So very oppressive heat in the desert southwest and even along the west coast. Even like Seattle has had a fair amount of sunshine for the month of July, and it's been pretty warm too, temperatures in the middle 80s. So very nice and comfortable up in the Pacific Northwest for July. Now, this is where we kind of run into some problems. Pretty much the middle section of the country has been about average, but we have seen some of the extremes happen. We've had very heavy rain in Oklahoma over the past week, and then on the other flip side, we've had pretty much no rain in parts of some of the front range of the Rocky, coming into Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, going into the high plain states as well. And we've also seen much cooler than normal conditions in the upper Midwest. If you live in Minneapolis, if you live in Fargo, North Dakota, Chicago, Milwaukee, Green Bay, all these cities have pretty much been seeing fall-like temperatures as opposed to summer-like temperatures. Averages about 82, 83 for these cities in the upper Midwest for now, because it is the middle of the summer, end of July. However, a lot of places like yesterday, the 27th of August, have seen only temperatures in the mid-60s. That feels a lot more like early October than it does in the middle of July. So it feels a little strange to see fall-like weather in the middle of the summer and everything. Nevertheless, however, we are expected to see a rebound. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute in the Midwest. I also want to recap on the flooding situation and just very heavy rain, muggy kind of weather that we have seen over the Gulf State, Southeast, and parts of the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeastern states. We have just been inundated with days after rain and thunderstorms and just humidity and, oh my goodness, and all that other things pretty much all across the eastern seaboard for the month of July. So it's been kind of just a socked-in month. Not a whole lot of breaks. We've had a couple breaks here and there, but even when we have breaks during the day, we get those showers and thunderstorms pop right back up during the afternoon and overnight hours. So that's pretty much what July's been. It's kind of been a crazy pattern for the whole entire country, and usually it's not like that. We usually just typically see the jet stream pull off into Canada, and most of the country sits in 80s and low 90s, and then we have afternoon thunderstorms pop up in more of the unstable conditions along the Gulf Coast and going into the Mid-Atlantic and Ohio River valleys. That's what we usually typically see during the summer months, but this summer has been kind of a wild one in terms of cold air, hot air, too much rain, too little rain. It's kind of been all across the board. Now, going into the month of August, things are going to be a little bit different for some people. For other people, it's going to pretty much stay the same. So, we'll start off in the West. The western states can expect to see above average temperatures and below average rainfall for most of the month of August. So if you live across those states, expect to see, again, very warm conditions like Seattle, Portland. 80s are probably going to be, the norm for the month of August. 100 teens, maybe even 120s again in the desert southwest with Phoenix, Las Vegas, and some of those other cities in the desert as well. Going over into the middle part of the country, pretty much average temperatures for the middle section of America. However, with the cool jet stream that has pushed through recently in the Midwest, we have another cold front, just a slighter cold front coming in, so not as strong as the previous one. It'll bump the temperatures down again, just a nudge, but eventually for the month of August, we are expected to be on par with temperatures in the Midwest and going down to the southern plains. So even though it's felt more like fall, you'll finally feel like August in places like Minneapolis and Chicago coming into the month of August. So just hold on for just a couple more days. Today is about like 70 degrees, but eventually we'll see those 80s pop back up in those places. Going over into the east, that's where it's going to pretty much remain the same. However, New England and parts of the Mid-Atlantic are pretty much going to be kind of high and dry for the month of August. We are expected to see above average temperatures for most of New England, going down to parts of the Mid-Atlantic, and also less rain than we have seen over the past month or so. So that's some good news there and everything. But going down to the southeast and the Gulf Coast states, unfortunately, above average rainfall and above average rainfall, which is going to kind of suppress the heat a little bit. However, it is going to still remain rather humid, so it's going to feel a lot hotter than it is outside. So we're going to see a lot of those showers and thunderstorms pretty much remain in the area across the southeast, not really going anywhere for the month of August. And temperature-wise, about average, maybe slightly below average for those places as well. So that's pretty much your whole entire August outlook for the country. And another place, if you are vacationing up there, is Alaska. Alaska, over the past month, has seen actually a very good deal of sunshine and above average conditions for temperatures, and the month of August is expected to be above average as well for parts of Alaska. So if you are traveling up there, it's going to be great temperatures. 70s and 80s are going to be the norm across most of the state. And Hawaii, on the other end, as long as they get through this tropical storm that's about to push through, which they will because it's a very weak tropical storm, expect just a normal average month of August for the Hawaiian Islands if you go visit there. That is your August outlook and your recap of July. I'll be back with another video in a little bit. Until then, remember to keep your eye to the sky.